Good evening, everyone. Well, it's evening where I am, and I just feel, so kind of relaxed. And as I was relaxing today, I wanted to share with you that self care is actually a necessity. And growing up, never kind of thought about self care. Really, I didn't hear that phrase until much later in life. And I was just sitting there like very intentional because I really try. I think I put a post out if you're a subscriber to my website. Like I said self-care is like being intentional about caring for you. And for a long time I used to really complain about how I no one has poured into me. So physically, right? I didn't have anyone that actually poured into me as a person. And so when I felt like I was pouring out, just emptying myself, even times when like my body was just not there, they were like, just keep going, and it'll get better. And I was like, I wasn't self-caring, and I was in the Word, um, and that's another self-care that you definitely have to spiritually self-care. But I was in the Word, and it was refreshing and everything. But taking care of yourself physically is another part of your overall well-being. And so you have to stimulate your mental, emotional, as well as your physical and spiritual. And those are the four um aspects, in my life right now. I just got finished from my daughter is not with me, so I am a single mom who has a parenting schedule, and she's not with me this weekend. So after I ate my dinner, I sat down, watched half of a movie, and I said, okay, I'm gonna watch the rest of the movie in my bed upstairs. So after I take my bath, and after I listen to podcasts. So podcast is a thing that I actually started listening to maybe last year. And I just realized like there's a whole world of podcasts that can stimulate your mind, and that has you really that has you caring for yourself and your mind and having you thinking and everything. So um I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to my podcast, and I will do a disclaimer because you have to know which podcast works for you. There are several things that I was like, oh, that looks good, and then when I heard, a few like minutes, or a couple of minutes, I was like, no, this is not. But there are some things that I'm like, yes, this is actually feeding my soul, my mental, my emotional state. And I highly recommend that we take time out of our life to be intentional about being poured into. And you may not have somebody there that's physical that can actually, pour into, when have a boyfriend or a husband, you live, a friend, that is like, what, hey, here you go. Here's a certificate. Go to the spa, or, here, just, I got the kids, just, go ahead and just have a night to yourself. You as I know I can't do that right now. Nobody's here. But the simple fact that you have to make an intentional schedule about having a moment to have things that are beneficial and edifying, to pour into you. And so I wanted to share that because for a long time I was like, man, ain't nobody pouring into me. I used to boo-hoo, woe is me, all of that. And even when I, had people that I thought, like, they were supposed to. But what I found like recently is that, you know what? It's time to stop the boohooing, and you have to be intentional. I think I put that on my Instagram page. You have to be intentional about your healing. You got to go get it. You just can't stand there for 5 years, 2 years, and saying the same thing. Like, you have to be intentional about making changes to make sure that your emotional, your mental, your physical, all of that is in a better place. And there's just certain goals that I have that I definitely want to do. I want to take walks. I want to go to the park, and that's one of the things that we're going to do. Me and my daughter is go to the park that's near us, when it gets warmer, and not be inside Saturdays and just enjoy nature. And that those are the repetitive things that I've been hearing, and I said, you're right. So I definitely wanted to share that, because that is self-care. Self-care is a necessity, because you run on everything that's in you. And if you are not built up, and if you're grinding and say, I'll sleep when I die, and all of those, I get the colloquialism, but I just, like, there's some people that's just like running on fumes trying to make things happen. It's like, it's okay. I just, know and believe that when you do your part to yourself, you will have energy, you will have a mood boost, you will have all of that for all of your priorities, because they're still there. But you have to put on your schedule, I'm not doing anything today, because this is the time that I have scheduled, so I can pour into myself, so I can read, so I can journal, so I can read the word, so I can pray, so I can do all of that. Like, book a whole Saturday, do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Just so that you can, feel like yourself again. And there's so many people out there that's like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm just doing it all by yourself. I wanted to help this young lady, and she never responded, because what she wrote, I felt all of that, because I was like, I was there with you, or not with you, but I was there, like you, and so I just definitely wanted to, send some encouragement her way, because I, like, all what she said verbatim, I was like, girl, if you only knew. And I don't believe that she is able to, move away, because she got 2 young kids. And she works double, and it's so hard for these single moms to get a break. It is, but it's intentional too. You're just gonna think that a break is gonna happen. You be like, oh, okay, it's Saturday and a break is here. No, you have to schedule that. And even if you don't want to, like, I was like, dang, I gotta run this bath and all of that, but it helps calm, soothe, and I was just in there. I had my candles on, and I had it going, and I listened to, I have certain stations that I listen to, and I'll put them in the comments, of what I listened to tonight, and it helped me. It was about an hour and 30 minutes total of me listening, and I said, I feel so much better. And it was just the things that was on my heart that I was spoke about. And I was like, okay, I have to create boundaries. I have to realize what I'm thinking, because it's going to, come out, and, stuff like that, man. It just really helps. I just hope that, this helps, anyone that is like, man, like, how do I do this? The number one thing you got to do is plan it. You got to plan your self-care moments. Like, even if it's after the kids are asleep, if you don't get a break and they are literally here with you, this is a reality. Wait till they go to sleep. Have your bath ready. When you put them to sleep, and people are like, oh yeah, they wake up and da-da-da. But wait till they sleep. Like, wait till they sleep. And do it. And, you may have to stay up, a little extra longer. But I think I read something about 20, like, if you just soak for 20 minutes, it helps. So I hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to share that because I was in there, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is what my body has been craving. And I didn't do a lot of stuff last year, and I was to the point of like panic and anxiety, and it was so much going on. That's why I had to cut off the news and stuff. It was just so much happening in society, in the world. Like, I was literally living on edge every day. And I was going to church, and I was doing this, and it was helping me getting through the week. I love church because um it sharpens you for the it sharpens you for the week. That's what ministers and pastors and they're for, but it was just something about, like, I have to pause as well and just say, hey, this is what I need to do. And I didn't do it. I haven't done it ever, and since the end of last year. And I said that I'm going to be intentional this year, and it has been definitely making a difference. And so that's one key point to kind of take. So I hope everyone has a great night or great day, depending on when you listen.